Let's start this morning with Daily Trust newspaper. Emefiele, Nigerians in US raise alarm over human rights violation by Tinubu's government. The Conference of Nigeria Intellectual (CNI) in the United States has urged the international community to be aware of alleged human rights violations back home under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The group expressed displeasure with the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) handling of former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor CBN Godwin Emefiele. Recall that the High Court of the FCT in Abuja last Tuesday commenced the trial of Emefiele with the three witnesses exonerating him of wrongdoing in the world of 1.2 billion naira vehicle supply contract by CBN under him. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. Four Boko Haram financiers convicted. A federal high court sitting in Dawaki, Abuja, has convicted four Boko Haram financiers. The federal government on Monday arranged Modu Aisamin, Sana Sarama, Umar Muhammad, and Bunu Kame. The prosecution, led by Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, secured their convictions after their separate arrangement before Justice Binta Nyako and Emeka Wait. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Nigeria must stop harmful traditional practices. BC Fayeme. Wife of a former Ekiti State Governor, Erelu BC Fayeme, has urged Nigerian women to collectively fight back against sexual and gender-based violence, while Nigeria must stop fueling practices, belief, and stereotype that undermine the physical and emotional well-being of women and girls to combat all forms of LGBT. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. Crisis brew in Benue APC as governors loyalists bicker with party leadership. The crisis brewing within the All Progressive Congress APC in Benue State on Monday got messier as leadership of the party and supporter of Governor Alia alleged in a war word. Our correspondent reports that both factions have in the past denied report lost among them since ascension of APC government in the state. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust newspaper this morning. APC PDP squabble over alleged move to arrest Silva. The All Progressive Congress Party APC in Bayelsa State have said that it has uncovered a plot by State Governor Senator Diri to frame up the APC candidate in the last governorship election in the state, Chief Timothy Silva. The party alleged that the plot include using one of the anti-corruption agencies in the country to harass Silva so as to compel him to abandon the case challenging the outcome of the November 11 poll. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. Reaction trails allegation of Ondo government official forging Akeredolu's signature. Mixed reactions have continued to trail the allegation that some government officials have been forging the signature of the ailing Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu to carry out activities in his continuous absence. A Abuja-based lawyer, Kayode Ajulos SAN, had alleged that some commissioner in the administration of the state were forging the signature of Akeredolu. Get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. Moving on to the Nation newspaper this morning. Kyari seeks energy transition for Africa at COP28. The Group Chief Executive Officer, GCEO, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC Limited, Mr. Kelemi Kiari, yesterday reflected on the search for sustainable solution to the decarbonized energy. He said the African continent needs a just, differentiated transition to harness its resources for the benefit of the future generation. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. 160 youths receive $1.2 million grant. About 160 youths have received $1.2 million grant from the Nigerian Youth Future Fund, NYFF, for various projects across the country. The Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Ibrahim, said the fund represented a significant increase from the previous year's disbursement of $600,000 to 130 recipients, noting that this demonstrated the growing commitment of the stakeholders to the youth employment. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. Why Nigerians should participate in budget process by Abbas. House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas has urged more Nigerians to participate in the budget process. He said this would deepen the nation's democratic governance and strengthen public financial management. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. Moving on straight to Punch newspaper this morning. Outrage as warplane kills 85 in Kaduna village bombing. There was a widespread outrage on Monday over the accidental bombing of Tudumbiri in the Igabi local government area of Cardinal State by the Nigerian army on Sunday, which left no fewer than 85 villagers dead. Residents of the affected community said they were celebrating Maulud, an Islamic event when the bombs were dropped by the military, a development that triggered both local and international condemnation. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Minister warns health workers against leakage of patients' information. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Fateh, has urged radiologists in the country to guard against leakages of patients' information to prevent litigation. Fateh said this on Monday at the 6th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Association of Radiologists in Nigeria and the 68th AGM of the Association of Radiologists in West Africa in Abuja. Get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. COVID-19 funds rep to track 60 billion naira FEMA project. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee on Monday resolved to track the 192 projects that the Federal Road Maintenance Agency said it executed with 60 billion naira COVID-19 fund released to it by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. This was as the committee grilled the Chief Medical Director of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital over the spending of 949 million naira COVID-19 intervention fund. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government plan to revoke unused oil licenses. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum and Regulation Commission has said the federal government is planning to revoke unused oil exploration leases that companies were granted but have not been able to carry out any exploration activities on them. The Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulation Commission, Benga Komolafe, told Reuters on Monday that only companies with valuable technical and financial backup will get to keep their leases. Get the details of that coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Oil revenue rises 83%, hits 8.5 trillion naira, NBC report. Nigeria's foreign trade in the third quarter of 2023 rose by 53.16% year on year to 18.80 trillion naira. This is a crude oil revenues surged by 83.23% to 8.54 trillion naira in the quarter under review. In the third quarter of 2022, total crude oil sales amount to 4.66 trillion naira. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Cash shortage hits banks. Customers rush for BVN NIN revalidation. Huge crowds besiege bank hall on Monday as customers move to link their bank verification number and national identity number to their bank account. This followed the new directive of the banking regulators to the banks on Friday to bar customers who were yet to link their BVN and NIN from having access to their accounts. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Funding 422 delegates to COP28 wasteful, opposition tells FG. The federal government on Monday clarified that it funded 422 delegates to the ongoing climate summit in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference is the 28th edition of the 28th edition, and it's holding from November 30th to 2023 to December 12th, 2023 at Expo City. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Moving on to penpushing.com.ng is one of the reliable online platform, and some of the headline has it: Crimes Commission arrange couples for alleged land fraud. A couple has been arraigned before the Federal High Court Enugu on 3-count charges bordering on obtaining the sum of 2.750 million naira by false pretense in alleged land fraud. It's time for us to bring in our in-house analyst and public affairs commentator. He's a seasoned journalist and media consultant, and our own Mr. Salman Salami. Good morning, and you're welcome to Newspaper Review this morning.
Thank you very much, our amiable presenter, and good morning, super citizen listeners.
And let's start with federal government reacting to delegation to COP28. Said they only funded just 422 delegates. What's your take on this?
Well, I still stand by what I said here yesterday on the funding of delegates to the COP28 holding in Dubai. To me, I doubt if there is a difference between a monkey and a decorated monkey. Federal government said that they have funded only 442.
22.
And not 1,400 as it was rumored. Well, I think there are two issues here. We must be mindful of what we churn out. I mean, we as purveyors of news. I mean, the media, the journalists, the press. We must be careful. We know some media houses that are irrevocably against this government. I do not think that stance is a good one. It is not a patriotic stance, because as media men, we are just to hold government accountable to the people. And while doing that, there are ethics of the profession which we must abide by. Those media houses should, in the interest of the nation, have a rethink. That being that, the government too is not doing enough as regards information dissemination. Most Nigerians didn't know anything about COP28 until our delegates got to Dubai. There is the need for the National Orientation Agency to educate Nigerians on what we stand to gain by attending COP28, the climate change meeting. What are the deliverables? What does the country stand to gain? What is the number of the people that will attend, and why should they attend, and what are they going to do there? For example, it came to us now that the government sponsored 422, and there were some from the ministry, there were some ministers, there were some other valued government officials who have something to tell the world or to learn from what is going on. What I'm saying is this: the dearth of information is part of the problem. Perhaps if the citizens have been adequately informed and educated, they would have known ab initio why the government is spending so amount of money on so number of people for so reasons. I think it's a learning curve. The government should learn to engage the citizen.
All right. That's very good one. And let's quickly move to what the plan by the federal government to revoke the unused oil licenses. Why should some people keep the license when they are not using it? What's your take?
Well, this is a very specialized area, and I think if the government feels that yes, they have kept the grant, the oil license exploration given to them for quite some time, and they have not been using it, or they have not used it, and there is the need to revoke it, let the government do the needful.
COVID-19 fund rep to track 60 billion naira FEMA projects. What's your take on this?
Well, accountability is key, and there is the need for the National Assembly to continue the oversight function on all the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. It is good. It is a good development, because oversight function is one of the major and critical duties of the National Assembly. As the representatives of the people, they are to hold government accountable, even though they too are part of the government. But that is their duty. And as legislators with oversight functions, they should do it well. I think there must be accountability. Taxpayers' money must be well spent, judiciously spent, and it must be accounted for. It is not their money. It is our money.
Okay. Why should Nigeria face a cash shortage that hits the banks now? And why should people continuously running for BVN and NII revalidation at this point in time? What's your take on that?
Well, I don't really know why Nigerians will always wait until the last minute before they do what is right. It is still part of our attitude to issues. If we had done what we were supposed to do by now, I do not think there will be this rush, which is to me unnecessary and which to me ought not to have happened. I'll quickly look at the issue of Emefiele and the conference of Nigerian intellectuals in the US who have suddenly woken up now.
I will have to hold you on there. And our super listeners, it is time for you to join us on this program, and you can call us on 0903 2229 797, 0818 2222 205, and 0818 222206. And that's the number you can call. And I have a first caller. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Citizen Olushola is calling from Central area.
Okay, good morning, Citizen Olushola. Can you quickly make your point?
Thank you, the moderator. Thank you, Mr. Ayosalami.
Thank you very much.
Most of the problem we Nigerians have is that on issue of that delegate is that many of us, we have already closed our mind against anything that is coming from government. Even if the government make announcement on the media, it's very hard for many people to even take it and digest it with other they hear from other media. It's very essential for everybody to balance the news. You hear from one place to the other. But there are some stations, as Mr. Ayosalami has said, is that some people have already cleared their mind against Nigerian information. Even if Nigeria tell them that it's 10, they will still not believe in it. And probably, as Mr. Ayosalami has said, before this thing, I think the government is supposed to even do a serious media orientations. Seriously, we are very low in that situation. That's the problem we are having. Seriously, we
all
are
right.
Very low. That's it. That's my take on that.
Thank you very much. Citizen Olushola. You are welcome. Mr. Salami, you are talking about Emefiele.
Well, the Emefiele debacle is a very, very delicate one. Delicate in the sense that the government should not embark on vendetta. Well, he who goes to equity must do equity. He who goes to equity must go with clean hands. We know the role Emefiele played in the last dispensation. Nevertheless, two wrongs cannot make a right. There is the need for the government to arraign Emefiele in a competent court of jurisdiction. Let him have his days. Let him have his say. Give him fair trial. Let him have fair hearing in the court. Let the rule of law take place. And justice delayed is justice denied. Keeping Emefiele incommunicado, keeping him in the cell for this long, to quite many people, seems not to be the right thing to do. If you have a case against him, a strong case against him, please take him to court. Let him have his day in court and follow the rule of law and do not delay the trial, because justice delayed is justice denied.
We have another call. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Hello, this is the voice of Kennedy, calling from Carol.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, good morning. Go ahead.
I have this question to ask the federal government. Why should they receive critics before they come out to clear the air that it was 422 delegates? You know, we live in a country whereby things you can never imagine that can happen in other countries are very possible. It is in this country that monkey, stole money. It is in this country that snakes swallow money. So when you don't allow people to criticize you before you clear the air, if this was done, by the federal government, people shouldn't have come out to, begin to criticize the federal government. And I'm talking about 85 killed by warplane in Kaduna community.
Yes.
But now we have the intelligence department in each force. What is their work? What are they doing? These people that have been killed are innocent people. You read the first paragraph, which spell out the reason these people came out. So are they trying to tell us that the intelligence department in the security areas are no longer functioning? It's just a question.
Okay.
This is not good. This is condemnable.
All right.
God bless every positive thinking Nigeria.
Thank you too. Mr. Salami.
Well, the bombing in Kaduna, in the villages in Kaduna, is utterly condemnable.
Mr. Salami, I have to hold you on there. Hello, good morning. Are you calling?
My brother again.
Okay.
Olushola is calling back.
Quickly, make your point.
Sir, quickly as you have said, sir. The clarification by the government is very, very essential. But we should ask ourselves, are we ready to listen to what government say? Either government or ST.
But they should say it. That's what Mr. Salami is saying.
That's the problem we are having. Are we not having one kind hatred of the other against the system already? There are some media stations, my brother, that I can never, even if they are doing it free of charge, I can never listen to them. Because what is coming out of some of the media and some of the people that are calling here, very unfortunately, that's the problem we are having. And the mistake of the bombing is it can happen anywhere. Even look at the intelligent issue of Israel. When these Hamas attack them, despite as high as intelligent as Israel, they still attack them. That's the problem.
Okay.
You don't save Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are still on, Mr. Salami.
I think a mistake has been done, a very grievous and deadly one. I've been saying it that what is the worth of life in Nigeria? We agree that mistakes do happen, and it's only God that doesn't make mistake. But there is the need for Nigerians, especially our security agencies, this time around the Nigerian Army, to have taken care of all the intelligence reports. I wonder why they did not know that there will be a Maulud Nabi and that some people will come out. It is intelligence gathering. Well, we thank God that we have a very competent and diligent Chief of Defense Staff. I'm talking of General Christopher Gwabi Musa. General Gwabi Musa is a very diligent and competent soldier, a gallant soldier, a man who has done everything humanly possible to ensure that we Nigerians go to bed with our eyes closed. He is a man that we believe will not sweep this under the carpet. As the Chief of Defense Staff, we know that General Musa will do something, and we as Citizen FM will make sure that we get across to General Musa to know more about what transpired, and we will report back to the people because we are the voice of the people.
Okay, quickly, can we talk about the crisis in Benue APC as Governor Loyalist Baker with party leadership? What is your take on this?
Bickering will always happen. It is part of politics. In politics, there will be factions because what is paramount in politics is interest. It is so sad that it's so soon Reverend Father Alia is having a conflict which naturally will happen. It is not so much so the conflict that is important, but the management and the resolution of the conflict is a political conflict. It's a political matter. It's a matter of interest, and we know that interest matters in politics. Let them resolve it in the best interest of the people of Benue State.
Okay, quickly, let's go to Ndo, where allegation of forgery of the signature of the governor is being laid by a SAN. What's your take on this?
Well, I have tremendous respect for Kayode Ajulo SAN. He's a friend, and yes, he's a legal luminary, a senior advocate of Nigeria. But an allegation remains what it is, without proof. We will need the proof that indeed the signature of His Excellency, Chief Akeredolu, Rotimi Akeredolu, was void. If it is true that his signature was void, it's a criminal matter, and crime and criminality should not be swept under the carpet. Those who are responsible for the forgery should be brought to book. They should have their day in court. Crime and criminality is unacceptable.
Okay. 160 Nigerian youth received 1.2 million US dollars grants. What is your take on this?
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Whatever will empower our people is welcome. It's a good development. And I have always been saying it that skill acquisition and entrepreneurship is the way to go. We have all seen it now that the government cannot absorb all our graduates now. Every now and then the universities are doing convocation, churning out graduates. The question is, how prepared are these graduates to face the outside world? I think there is the need for critical thinking, intuitive thinking, and thinking outside of the box by these our new fresh graduates. They should think of job creation and think less of searching for jobs.
Okay. 4 Boko Haram financiers convicted. Is that a good news?
Honestly, it's pretty difficult to know whether it is good news or bad news. The conviction has been secured, and I want to believe that since conviction has been secured, it only means that the court has found them guilty of financing crime. You see, we've been saying it times and times over that the Boko Haram, the bandits, the kidnappers are not ghosts. They are Nigerians. They are human beings. Even if there are foreigners, they are still human beings. They are not ghosts. There is the need for intelligence gathering, and there is the need for the people to own this country in totality. And we can only do this by providing useful and timely information to the law enforcement agencies, without which they cannot do much. They need information to function. And we must give credible information to them. And we believe that they too will manage that information very well. That they will manage information as professionals in such a way that they will not expose the informant. And they will not make him
a scapegoat.
No, not a scapegoat. That what I am saying is this: the safety of the informant is very important, in such a manner that you do not expose him to attack. That is the point we are trying to make here. It is when the people have confidence in the security agencies that they will be willing to give them information, to provide useful information, and they need information to work, because without credible information, intelligence information, they cannot work. But then it takes two to tango.
Yes. Writing on that, Minister warned health workers against leakage of patients' information. And what's your take on this?
It's sabotage. That is what is going on, because whatever information a patient has is private and it is confidential, and it should not be leaked to anybody without the consent of the patient. That is a good admonition.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello? Are you there?
I'm just just to round up, sir.
Okay, quickly.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. My take again is that I wish and I hope, after I've already made some suggestions, I want to make a recommendation. I think federal government can be sponsoring other media to project what they want to do, so that even if they are listening to the other media, they'll be able to know. But you know, my brother, unfortunately, most of us that we criticize what is happening, to the federal government on this OSK that they went for. The same thing is even happening in every organization. As you see civil servants, if they are not giving all those traveling issues, they don't believe that anything is happening. Anything, even in the project, that's the problem. Do you imagine a project that's being carried out this time around? If the project stops, they auction the vehicle to themselves. And if the another project wants to come, they buy another one. Can we continue a system like that?
No.
So we should even look ourselves, check ourselves to build the nation, not focusing on a particular person. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Salami, I think there's a need for adequate information dissemination by the Nigerian government. Just as you said earlier, what is the work of the government agency that is saddled with this responsibility?
Well, there is the need for the government information apparatus to be really examined. The information architecture is weak, very, very weak. And we are saying this with all sense of responsibility. The federal government should redesign the information dissemination in such a manner that the government should be proactive. The government should come out and educate Nigerians on what they need to know at the time they need to know it. Not that they will be reactive. If the government had done the needful, we will not be in this type of mess, whereby some media houses that we really know that they are against this government are now cashing on this propaganda, which we believe it is. But even at that, the government needs to do the needful by educating the people, by telling the people, by coming out and by being proactive. Let us support this government. We have no choice. It is our government and we have no other country. Nigeria is our only country.
Thank you, Mr. Salami. That's the most we can take. We thank you for listening. And tomorrow is another day when we'll be coming with another newspaper review. My name is Okikiola Kosim. Stay out of trouble.